Hey yo, and welcome back to episode a million of The Letter. I feel like we're so close. We're so close. Because after Ashton, it's just Luke, and we'll get all the answers that we're looking for, and then it'll try to make me feel bad for him, but I'm not gonna. But here we are, a week later from my crying episode, so it's fine. I'm not recording this like right after that. And oh, look, a new avatar. I don't know if you missed my stream, my first Bayonetta stream, but here I am with a new avatar. Ooh, ah. Everything is new and fancy. But let's keep going. Hastily, I gather everything: the personal files, client documents, sales agreements, and contracts. Anything my hands could reach. In record time, all of it's been stacked in a neat pile ready for storage. I'm heading for the records room, not a few seconds later. Whatever that is. It should be an easy find, unless this place is a maze of some sort, which I highly doubt. Still beats staying here and seeing the look on her face. Crap. Really? Her anger's still bearable. I can take that, including the glower she sends my way.
So, yeah, I'll go get the security videos and put these back where you pulled them from. Man, these are heavy, you know?
You're so good at small talk.
Ash, it's just paper. You don't even know where I...
Oh, no, I can handle this. Easy as pie. And, yeah, security cams, tapes, videos, cams.
Smooth.
Yeah, I'm off.
Her rejection at this point? Maybe. Maybe not yet. Well, it was quiet. I'm gonna put my hand on the Z button and the spacebar. Getting the files back to BRC's archive room is a cinch. With the documents back in their proper places, I can lock the door behind me, tugging it twice, just to make sure. Now on to the next order of business. Removing the evidence of our little excursion in here. Or at the very least, the part showing what we've been doing during the past hour. Can't have our facers plastered on security footage, showing us breaking the law, as it were. I'm gonna have to wipe the data for Isabella's access card entries too. Surprisingly, finding their security room proves a breeze. What will be tricky is getting inside. The fact that no one has walked out during the whole time we've been here means the room is either empty or their security is sound asleep. I'm backing more on the former. If they're cutting corners and firing agents, I have no doubt that they've fired the guy stationed here. If they have anyone watching the monitors in the first place. It's a rather common thing for establishments, just to leave security recording indefinitely, and only check the footage if something actually happens. Just to check, I press my ears against the door, listening for any sign of anyone occupying the room. After a long minute and nothing, I give the doorknob a few rattles.
Standard lock and key. Should be easy enough to pick.
We have a lockpick set, but those are only to be used if necessary, and with a search warrant, even when it's a skill set rarely needed. Subtly isn't a cop's priority if they have an authority to search the premise. Bolt cutters and brute force are the favored methods. If those fail, we call a locksmith. Me, I prefer a good old hairpin trick when those options aren't available. Besides, they're easy to hide and store for emergencies. Running my hand through my hair, I pull a pair of bobby pins. 2 of these and I can just about open any standard lock. One makes a lever and the other makes a handle. I won't call it a complex skill, but it certainly takes time and a lot of practice to successfully pick a lock. Or you just rotate it until you feel the vibrations, and then you hit the button, like in Skyrim. Good thing I've practiced with them for a bit in my college years. I learn more when they're accessible and standard issue for a law enforcement officer. I wiggle here, I click there, and I manage to seize all the pins and locking mechanisms soon enough. With a slight turn of the knob, security room's ripe for the picking. Are we gonna see something happen to Isabella? The room's odor hits me first. A sharp, nauseating stench. All the witch ladies in there. As if someone had accidentally spilled a gallon of bleach in the room. Oh, different stench. When was the last time they opened this place?
Ugh, this place smells awful. Jesus, it's worse than the forensics lab on a bad day.
Or someone died in here and they weren't fired. This is probably because of a badly botched effort to clean the place up. Even in the dark, I can spy dark stains on the walls. I really don't have the time to try and play is this ketchup or soda right now, but I have this strange gut feeling who the mess might belong to. As expected, no security personnel mans the officer's CCTV controls, and the standalone DVR setup is open for anyone. Normally, I'd have a heap of things to say about this sloppy security setup, but right now, their negligence makes the whole task of erasing evidence easier.
No fuss, no muss.
The next one should be the access card data. Hopefully getting into their computer won't be too much of a hassle. Everything up to now has been smooth sailing. There have been hiccups. I'll give it that, though it does nothing to dampen the good mood I'm in. Once I shift my attention to the machine sitting next to the DVR setup, all of it swiftly evaporates. I'm no computer buff, but I can definitely recognize one or more than a decade old. Simply looking at it makes me feel younger. With a heavy sigh, I power it up and mentally prepare myself for a slow slug. Slow apparently remains an understatement here. It takes a whole 3 minutes for the thing to start up. The OS hasn't even started loading, and in my boredom, I start inspecting the live feeds from the cams. Only 2 work. One for the view outside, everything seems to be in order there, and the other for the main workspace where it's a fleeting glimpse, a cursory glance, but the sight of it stops me. Oh, she's there! She's there! Run, Isabella! The image is a bit blurry, but standing there, right in the middle of the room, by one of the cubicles, I can make out the form of a...
What the hell is...
It's the ghost lady! Run, Isabella! Correla, corre! I don't get too far into that line of thought. For a few seconds my words have slipped out, without any sort of warning, while I'm still trying to make sense of what it is. The figure moves. Oh no! Is she coming to the camera? Is she coming? Oh Lord, she coming! Are you gonna come through the camera like the Ring? A moment of paralysis hits me when she stops right in front of the camera. Like a damn rookie, I go still in the face of danger. I definitely haven't been trained to handle the supernatural, and this is one, isn't it? And... oh, fuck. Her eyes bore into me, the malice in them, piercing. Even beyond the screen, it's enough to make me go numb. Only the mug crashing on the floor when my hand accidentally takes a swipe at it snaps me out of the trance, reminding me that I'm not the only one here. Isabella. It seems she hasn't noticed anything. Am I the only one seeing this? In any case, whatever's happening, I have to get her out. Gathering my wits, I quickly reach my phone. It takes but 2 seconds before she answers. There's no time for relief.
Ashton? Did you really have to call? We're practically on the...
Shut up, bitch! There's a ghost!
Get out of there.
What? What are you...
Out. Get out. I'll meet you in the elevator. Just
Tell her ghost lady's there.
You're creeping me out, Ash.
Just get yourself out of that place, now!
Without a second thought, I back away from the controls. From the room, ready to be done with this place. Did you do the security? But before my foot even moves, she disappears.
Son of a...
Ah! Jesus Christ! I expected it. I expected it, but it still got me. Instinct instantly takes over and my hand quickly reaches for the gun at my side. Only to meet empty air. A mistake that cost me a few precious seconds while the paperwork I brought in with me threatens to scatter everywhere at the same time. Gathering everything and myself once more, with no weapon to protect myself, sense of self-preservation kicks in, and I lunge towards the door. Do you have your papers? I sprint across the office without daring to look back. Isabel's already waiting in front of the elevators by the time I make it out of their office. Worry creases her eyebrows upon glancing at me, but I don't have time to answer the questions in her eyes. As soon as I reach her, I grab her arm, practically throw the two of us into the open elevator, and slam the button to the ground floor. A sigh of relief escapes from me when the elevator starts to descend. The clicking noise fades off to the distance. Beside me, Isabella shifts, moving the stack of papers under her arm while she takes in my appearance. Concerns in her eyes, though all I offer is her a small gesture of my hand while I attempt to compose myself. Breathe. In. Out.
Why are we in such a hurry?
You don't have any sense of danger, woman?
We need to get out of this place. Did you get everything?
Yeah, it's all here. But really, you don't look too good. What's wrong, Ash?
I'll be fine. I was in the security room. From the monitors, there was a fucking...
The rest of what I'm about to say dies on my tongue when the elevator stops the door to open too. There's a moment's pause while we both take in our surroundings. Confusion, understandably, there.
Oh, come on! They should just replace this whole thing.
No, I'm quite sure I pressed for the ground floor.
Right? But it's just as Isabella said, the elevator always did have problems when I visited the place in the past. Often she becomes so angry whenever we try to get to her floor, and she'll have to repeatedly smash the button for the elevator to even move. That was always good for a laugh. I wasn't too worried then. Now? Oh no! She's back again! From the distance, beyond the light's reach, the noise echoes in my ears along with the rapid pounding in my chest. Isabella stiffens as her eyes grow wide at the sound. Gingerly, she reaches up to grab the hem of my sleeve and grips it. Hard, tight enough for her fingernails to dig through. Her eyes searches wildly for the source of the sound, while I stand protectively in front of her. Oh yes, protect me.
Ash, did you hear that?
This is why we were running in the first place.
Anyone there?
Don't call out to it, press the button again.
I can hear you moving from here. Show yourself.
No. No response, only the soft sound of something scurrying around the floor and the walls in slow, deliberate movements, faint, though still audible enough in their hush. Until it stops. A moment.
We need to go, Ash. We have to.
And pops out. And then... This time, I'm certain it isn't my imagination. Alright, is it gonna be spacebar or... Against my training, my whole body freezes. You're a terrible cop! Hands stilling, mid-press on the button, eyes growing wide while waiting for any sort of movement from further back, and ears strained from the source of the sound. Press the button! I can't even offer Isabella any reassurance. Much as I hate to admit it, dread has sped through my every nerve. And the blasted elevator still won't work.
This isn't in my fucking training manual.
Ash, we need to leave. I know that sound. Ash, please, get the elevator!
What are you supposed to fucking do, bitch? Another series of shuffling against the ground and laughter, and all of a sudden she's just there. Like a twisted spider, she stares at us. Where? I don't see her. A look of hunger in her eyes and venom in the twisted manner she smiles. This music is making me anxious. A glee she has well earned when we're damned flies that have been dropped right onto the spider's web.
Ashton!
What do you want me to do?
Damn it!
God damn it, push the button harder. Without warning, she moves, mocking me with each unhurled crawl she takes, knowing I'm at her mercy.
Fucking hell!
Where? I don't see her.
Ashton, the door! The door!
Our lives are in the hands of a crummy elevator, literally hanging between life and death. We're not going to die here. Not in the damn elevator. Oh, 8, 7, 9, 2, 6. No! 7, 8, 2, 3, 1. Fuck! 5, 4, 8, 2. No. 3. No! 4. No! Ah! No, I got nervous. If I don't have a number pad on my keyboard, I have a 60% keyboard. So all I have are the number keys on top. This would be easier if I had the number pad. Oh boy. Okay. We'll do 4. And then like my keys, I try to have them be quiet, so they're very sensitive. So if I bump them, it counts. Okay. I am pushing the buttons! I'm pushing them! Come on! I'm dyslexic! This is too hard. How fast do you want me to do this? Oh my god! Fuck! 9, 3, 2, 5, 6. Damn it! Fuck! 6, 5, 1, 9, 7. 1, 6, 2, 5, 7. Fucking hell! God, that took too many tries! As divine power, yeah, because it lets me retry. As if divine power has heard me swearing up a storm in my head, the door closes just as the thing looms near. Fuck that, QTE! But that's because I don't have the fucking number pad. So the elevator. Soon the elevator. The blasted thing is headed up. Isabella's knees buckle in relief. In 2 ticks, she's hugging herself without any care for the mess of papers and folders she's dropped onto the floor in her panic. She draws in one ragged breath after another, each one brimming with nothing but relief. And this is the most I've been tired in my whole damn life. Not during training, when my superiors first asked me to drop 100, not after a stakeout, but after smashing a fucking elevator button repeatedly. I slump to the ground beside her, worn out, but I don't let myself feel relief again, not until we're out of here. Isabella seems to be the same mind as she looks to me. Still, I find myself sharing a shaky laugh with her.
We're okay. We're fine.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we're good. Alive.
You believe now? Do you believe?
Fuck, we should have taken the goddamn stairs.
Twice I've seen it. Thrice if I include the party. Unless I'm tripping balls. Without realizing it, there's no doubt in my mind that this is actually happening. I don't want to believe it. But with the truth staring me in the face, it'll be stupidity to deny the reality of the matter. I mean, a lot of people deny things that are right in front of their face. As soon as the lift hits the ground floor, we hightail out of the building. Seb's sound asleep when we pass his station. However, in the face of whatever we've seen, everything I've faced tonight, we really can't care less who will still see us on our way out. The sooner we get away from this place, the farther the better. Just not sure if that also means being safe. She almost got us. Damn it. The fucking thing almost had us. I mean, she had us like 5 times. This is just like multiverse number 6. Shit. It was only by luck that we managed to get the fucking elevator unstuck. Had the blessed thing not worked in the last second, I need some air. Fresh, breathable air that doesn't stink like death and gore all at once. Panicking. Christ. Losing focus. With another person here, I can't afford that right now. Isabella hasn't said anything, but I know she's more shaken than I am. I can't lose it when another person is depending on me.
Remember your training, Frey.
Another deep breath, and soon I'm starting the engines and driving us off. After that, little incident, somewhere open would be good. Someplace I won't get trapped. You're gonna have elevator phobia. Luxembourg Park brings a welcome relief, though, only by some. The chill night has seeped in my bones, is still there, furling and unfurling beneath my skin. If I don't move, if I don't busy myself with anything, soon my brain will go haywire. It's just the last thing I want to happen when there are plenty of things to do. But this is already... But this already answers all of it, doesn't it? Those deaths? Just how many copies of the letter are out there? Isabella can't have the only one if other people are also getting cursed. Could it be that the one she has shown us is just one of 5? Maybe even more? That whole pass this to 5 people business is ridiculous. But at this point, is it still? All in all, we've found 21 people who might have read the letter. 7 of them deceased, 8 if we count Cooper. And that's only with what we can find right now. We have no idea how the contractors and specialists hired from the outside of the company are doing, if we are in any way affected. How many poor people are suffering? How many are missing? How many are dead? Can I still even blame the Wrights for this? If anything, they might be in danger as well. I don't think I can wish a curse upon anyone, no matter how big of a douchebag Luke Wright is. There's also that woman. How do we get out of this mess? How do we get away from her? Shit. Still so many things we need to look into, yet all my body wants to do is pace. Burn out whatever excess energy there is in me.
Ashton, I'm getting dizzy. Will you sit down?
No! It's the first time Isabella has said anything. She's been sitting quietly while we've dropped here. Better and less distracting than watching her nervous habits, I suppose. She certainly seems calm now. Too calm, in fact, for someone who had just seen something terrible. I mean, this isn't her first time. But it's been more than a week for her already. People do get desensitized to things at some point. Even someone like Isabella, who knows what's going on inside her head, though. Inside mine? There are too many and none of them would sit still.
I'm not going crazy, am I? I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw that. I didn't inhale anything weird. Just shit. Shit.
It's hard for it's hard for people who think of science and logic so dear to their heart to see something like that. Because, like, if I saw something like that, I'd probably freak out to this level, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of unexplainable things in the world that happen that can't really be explained scientifically.
Isabella, please tell me that wasn't...
What I'm not expecting when I turn to her is mirth. One that she could barely contain.
You're laughing. Why are you laughing?
I'm not quite sure what she sees in my face, but in the next second, a laugh suddenly bursts out from her.
I'm so sorry. It's just that you should have seen the look on your face back there.
You're acting like this is a prank.
Yes, right. Sure. I'm not the one who's panicked. You almost ripped my arm off.
Yeah, but...
I don't know if there's like something wrong with my brain, but I'm not understanding her reaction here. Like, that happens to me with like a lot of like movies and stuff. Like, I don't understand certain reactions to certain scenarios, and I'm just like, what? Like, I've been watching Chucky, but like that's meant to be campy, so like none of that stuff is probably intended to make complete sense. But this, I wouldn't be laughing.
Isabella, this isn't funny. We could have ended up dead.
You forgot this section.
I know. I'm really sorry. sorry. But this is just too precious to miss. You really lost your shit for a moment there.
You're trying to get back at me, aren't you?
Well, I'm not the one who kept calling someone scaredy cat for years. How does it feel?
Yeah, this whole happiness doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not scared.
Really? Because it doesn't seem that way to me. At all.
I'm not, all right? I just don't know what to do right now.
Immediately after, the moment passes, replaced by another tense silence. Laughter dies in her lips as everything sinks in. Yeah, like, you almost fucking died. We're in deep shit, and it's finally caught up to us and hit like a ton of bricks. Hit me more than anyone. Because she's been warning us of this since day one, and I'm the first person who brushed it off. Because you're a bad friend. Despite that, she still reaches out to me, tugging at my sleeve almost desperately. Her hands are trembling, and there's a tremor in her voice when she speaks. Without the cheer, only fear remains. One that she has been burdened with from the beginning.
We're still going to do something about it, right? Not just stand around and let that thing get us.
Unexpectedly, she leans her forehead against my arm, and her grip on my sleeve tightens. There's desperation there, a quiet plea.
Don't want to lose anyone anymore, Ash.
Like me? I wish I can give her that promise. But with so many unknowns, so many things I don't understand about this, how could I? Why she still trusts that I can do something about this baffles me. Because you kept saying that you're gonna fix it. It all feels wholly undeserved, considering the way I treated her. Yet, despite my reluctance, I find myself returning her hold in kind. A grasp, warm and light enough for comfort. Not a promise, but the closest thing to it. I get confused when you click and then it just it means to transition, but then nothing happens. Oh wait, there's a dot. October 30th, Sunday, the day before Halloween. It would have been great if I could finish this on Halloween. Darkness blurs the edges of my vision. Black tendrils twist and coil around my limbs. Soft footfalls echo from the far distance. Scurrying, scampering, moving in an odd rhythm with the sharp, piercing notes of her laughter. Scream threatens to burst, but my throat closes off, ever so slowly. A chill seeps into every nerve in my body, washing away every sensation in me, apart from one. There is only fear. Once again her laughter echoes, a sound both bitter and unforgiving. It is the last thing I hear before she reaches for me. The ground trembles. The world slows to a stop. Morning breaks in a blurry mess of vivid shapes and colors. Oddly, there's no feeling of terror or confusion gripping me, despite the vague images that has driven me from sleep. Awareness kicks in shortly. Though slow and sluggish, I blink away the last remnants of unconsciousness from my eyes. The early morning light already streams from the open windows when the memory sets in and the room finally comes into focus. Isabella's apartment. Pushing myself upright, my eyes wander idly towards her prone form. She's hunched over the coffee table, both her arms under her head while she continues to rest. Then to the chaos of papers and folders we've left scattered over it before sleep has claimed both of us. We bunkered down here last night after both our nerves have calmed down. Mine for the most part. Staying together was an unspoken invitation. Anyway, I'm pretty sure neither of us wants to remain alone when there's that woman. Is she still one in the first place? One that we'd normally call a human? Can it still feel guilt? Does it understand pain? I mean, I'm sure its whole existence is pain. Like mine.
Fuck, I'd rather get charged for breaking and entering than mess with whatever that thing was any day.
Not that thinking about this still matters when all of our lives are in her hands. She's dangerous, If we don't do anything about her and this curse, we'll definitely be pushing daisies soon. Can't let that happen. I've dallied on this long enough, left all my friends in harm's way. After all, after the warnings they've all given me. Besides, beneath the terror and the adrenaline that keeps me running, knowing what lies ahead for Isabella makes it hard not to take action. The paper sitting on the edge of the table calls my attention. At this, light against my hand when I reach for it. It has caught my eye the night before, but with this lot we still need to go through, I've simply ignored it. The logo emblazoned on the top of the page, however, proves this paper's a whole new meaning. Not for me, but definitely for her.
A scholarship grant, huh?
I've only ever heard her talk about this once or twice, completing her degree, that is. She really goes about it in great detail, preferring to keep it to herself. Perhaps it's the fact that she thinks she's already too old to be chasing after it. It's been 5 years after all, but I've caught enough snippet of conversation between her and Zach to know she's never given up on it. Despite how things have panned out with her father, she's one step closer to this part of her life. As silly as this may sound coming from a friend, I'd like to give her the chance to have this. Whether this means stepping out of my comfort zone and figuring out the deal with this curse is, I'll do so. If only to see that same smile on her face that time again. These days, the only moment she seems to show it is when she's asleep, like right now, no matter how uncomfortable she appears. A smile of my own forms, despite this, when I glance at her sleeping form again. She hasn't moved, her shoulders rising and falling in a slow, even rhythm with her breathing. You won't think she has any problems this way.
If only that were true.
Sighing, I place the paper back where I've gotten it, carefully so I won't accidentally wrinkle or damage it in some way. I finally push myself off the makeshift bed. Isabella shifts when I carry her off from the floor and over to her bed. She doesn't wake, simply tucks herself comfortably under the covers I pull over her. Briefly, though, she mumbles something to herself and draws in another deep breath.
Becca, Ashton's being dumb again.
She drifts back to sleep. She drifts back to a deeper state of sleep after, like she hasn't even been interrupted by the slightest movement earlier. But the small smile on her lips remain. One I find myself returning in kind.
Who sleeps like a rock now?
It's better this way. Better to leave her to her dreams for the moment, which I hope are better than the ones I've had. She'll have time to worry about our problems later when she wakes up. For now, this will be another thing I don't want to take away from her. A moment of respite, no matter how fleeting. She deserves it, after everything she's been put through, what I've put her through. In the meantime, I still have 2 other people I need to check with. Isabella will definitely get in a tizzy if I don't check on them. Off to Rebecca! Cold Luxembourg air meets me upon stepping out the hallway. Is it a hallway? Is that considered a hallway? Because I consider a hallway like an enclosed space. Not like a wall and then like a little fence to open. A bit cold, damp for the most part, and more often than not, terribly drab with an occasional sprinkle of rain every few hours. The sky's still clear, but give it a day or two before the weather takes a turn for the worst. I've complained about the awful rains for years, despite having lived here my entire life. I have to admit, though, seeing it return to the usual feels extremely reassuring. At least something's still normal in the world, when I can no longer think the same for the situation we're in. A nightmare. That's probably all this is. Usually I say, I've been through worse. But that's simply another lie I've often told myself, isn't it? And I've fed myself a great deal of lies through the years, just so I won't have to think about it the next day. Maybe we won't even have this problem if I haven't been running away and ignoring things. Hiding them someplace no one will see because I've since believed doing so is a show of weakness.
The fuck do I know about ghosts, though?
I don't know shit about ghosts. What does Rebecca? Z-Man has mentioned dreaming about a woman. Whether it's the same one we've been seeing, I've yet to ask. He could probably assume. Bottom line, he likely knows much more about this as I do. Probably meant to say than I do. Rebecca's probably in the same boat, grasping for anything that might provide an answer, a way out of this. What can any of us do when all of us lack any understanding of what's happening? One thing's clear about this, however. That thing is after us because of the letter. Both Rebecca and Zach have seen it too. She will go after them as well. She's been after them. Yet here I am, walking up to Rebecca's door, one slow step at a time, stalling tactic to allow myself some time to put the mess in my head in better order. How to phrase this? When there's a 90% chance she's still pissed about a whole different matter. It's the only reason we didn't check on her last night, aside from the ungodly hour Isabella and I arrived. We'll only alarm her by showing up in her home in the middle of the night, acting like babbling lunatics, and her anger can last quite a while. These days, it seems the only one she can easily forgive is Isabella, but even with her, Becca's fuming still takes hours. I run my hand through my hair and straighten out my jacket before knocking. Has this man showered in the past few days? He's been sleeping on people's couches. Once, twice, and 3 times just to be sure she heard me, even if she's asleep. Usually, she's awake by now, though.
Hey, Becca, it's Ash. Open up. Don't tell me you're still in bed.
Don't be playful right now. Seconds tick by. No answer from her. And dread has started to creep up. I've been trained to handle dire situations, but the feeling has been doing that quite frequently since last night. My mind begins to anticipate the worst, and the next minute concern has mixed in with my thoughts, and I bang my fist on the door louder this time. She'll definitely be livid, but I'd rather face her wrath than a dead body.
Becca, it's Ash. There's something we need to talk about right away. Open up. I know you're...
Your girlfriend left early this morning, pretty boy.
Hello?
So if you could do us a bloody favor and shut up, that'd be real fucking polite.
Hello, sir. My hand pauses short of landing another heavy knock. From the other unit, Rebecca's other neighbor peeks through his door, though I see nothing but a bundle of blankets. I'll say they need help from being devoured by their sheets, but it sounds like he's just fine. He's a huge asshole, too. Course of action, so people like him won't ruin your day, act like the nicest person on the planet. Has done me wonders when I was a rookie patrolling the streets. No need to match his temper.
Oh, did she say where she was going?
I don't know. She said something about meeting someone or something, in case Filipina girl over there asks. Well, what am I, her keeper? You know some people want to sleep in on a bloody Sunday, so keep it down. Just looking forward to this weekend. Thanks, you damn git.
What's a git? Is it like a slur? Maybe I shouldn't have repeated it.
Well, there's no need to be an ass about it. I'll get out of your...
He slams the door shut without warning, but not before muttering a string of very colorful words about me. Probably thinks I won't hear him inside the 4 walls of his apartment.
Jerk.
At the end of it, a sigh. So Rebecca's not here. I must have missed her by an hour or so. But at least she's not alone. She should be safe, in theory. More so if the person she's meeting with is who I am thinking. Nevertheless, I can't help but worry. Is it the professor? It's an easy thing, continuing down increasingly darker lines of thought. To act brashly, to find out where she is and go straight there without deliberating on my actions first. There's Zach to boot. Rebecca's not alone, and I can't say the same for the big guy. A simple phone call to the both of them should do the trick. It'll ease my nerves at any rate. It's better than rushing over to Zach's place or assuming Rebecca's whereabouts and finding out they're not where I've guessed they should be. Assuming the worst will come next, which I'd rather avoid this early. Any other reason, I won't bother them, but an emergency begs for urgency. This is one, right? Hell yeah, it is! Even if it isn't, anxiety from concern does judgment, something I most certainly can't afford to lose at any given time, especially right now. Any means to calm it will do wonders for the muddled mess in my mind. Who's Abigail? Pulling up my phone, I thumb through the screen until it ends up on a group with only Zach, Rebecca, and Isabella's numbers listed. Close friends. Sweet. Others. Other people will probably say I keep too few friends when they chance on this. To some extent, it's true. I can easily name about 100 people I've been acquainted with through the years. Colleagues, blockmates from uni, neighbors, those sort of people. They all come and go. But these three have chosen to stay for some reason, without wanting to ask for anything. Unlike the others, none of Zach's kindness, Rebecca's patience, nor the sincerity in Isabella's eyes. One day these guys are just there. The next thing I know, being with them eases it. That heavy, somber feeling lingering in the air when you stand alone in your apartment or something as simple as spending your day off without anyone. I'll say it's loneliness, but this carries much more depth than that. If I can help it, I don't want to lose any of them to some stupid curse. A phone call may be the least comforting thing at the moment. Honestly, I prefer being in the same room with them right now, but I'll take what I can get. Becca first. She'll get angry at me for worrying about her. She isn't some helpless damsel in distress after all. She isn't the shy little girl I knew when we were children. We're already far from the people we were back then, but that's more than enough reason to check in on her. I don't have to imagine her taking anything head on. She'll just do it, instead of asking for help, whatever she needs. I don't care if she gets mad at me, if only to know that she's fine. A ring, in the silence of the hallway. It's not a hallway. Its sound alone might as well be sharp enough to pierce through my ears. Another second passes. 2, 3, but then on the 9th ring, it goes straight to her voicemail. A cold feeling instantly lodged in my stomach.
Rebecca Gales here. You've reached my voicemail. Sorry if I can't get to you right now.
Rebecca Gales.
Oh, and if this is Isabella, yes, you're free to reheat the food in my fridge. Otherwise, leave a message.
Probably just busy is all. Though I still barely manage to keep my voice, even when I speak.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
I saw a ghost. Becca will be alright. Is alright. She's safe. She's with someone else. No, she's getting strangled. Some kinky shit's happening over there. In the event that woman shows up, she'll have someone with her. Someone she'll be able to ask for help. She's safe. She's not. She can handle herself. Becca might have a fiery temper, but she knows when she's faced with something she can't handle herself. Rebecca will see my missed call, and she'll call me back. Though I don't express it enough, Rebecca is someone I consider important to me. Lord. She looks like fucking Kylie, but with glasses. She's been my friend for the longest. Anybody else would have been fed up with me and left. This girl stuck by me no matter how big of a jerk I've been. There's Zach and Isabella now too, of course. I'll always be thankful for having them around. The worst times before, however, Becca was there. No one believes it when I say it, but I've surely had my awful moments as a bratty kid and as a horrible teen. Issues, I've too many of them to count and refuse to deal with them for a time. At least that's what Andrew likes to tell me. I tend to think nothing of it. It has mellowed down over the years, thanks to the professor mostly. But at times I do wonder if it still burdens me the way it did all those years ago. After all, I was terrible. I was a little shit. Especially around the time of my parents' separation. Looking back at it now, I had no reason to direct all my frustration toward everyone else. While I wasn't a kid who lashed out at everyone, preferring to keep it to myself and turning those negative feelings into more productive things, I've grown distant from a lot of people because of it. From my old friends back in my old school, and the neighbors I've hung out with before moving, a habit I've likely brought with me into adulthood. I was just so angry with everyone and everything. All I kept thinking about was myself. wondering, why me? In retrospect, I was selfish, little bastard who thought the world revolved around me. That I shouldn't have been going through it. I believe my behavior was entitled, that I had the right. Tough times, but she stuck with me, snapped me out of my little sulk, as she often phrases it, whenever she sees the chance to bring it up. She didn't tolerate my bullshit, but she didn't leave me alone either. If anything, the whole thing made her stick around. Her concern may have grown a bit overbearing as the years went by, but she's still an old friend nevertheless. She likes you, you dumb twat. I owe her a lot. You owe her your dick. That won't change.
Damn it. Where are you, Becca?
Another message left on her voicemail. Then on my third call, I hang up. For the time being, I can't do anything more than wait for her to return my calls. Worrying aimlessly won't get me anywhere. Zach, on the other hand. That guy attracts trouble no matter how much he tries to avoid it. Doesn't help how he hasn't been too hot lately with a lot of people. His mention of plans yesterday didn't sit too well with me either. He might be the next responsible adult after Rebecca out of the four of us, but I've still got to check on the big guy. Make sure he's doing okay, at the very least, whatever he's planned on doing. All I'm asking for it not to be idiotic. He's a sensible guy, I'm sure. How desperation clings and pushes people to do things, rational or irrational, doesn't matter. Clear thinking flies out the window the moment you're in danger, and I sincerely hope he has not found himself in a tricky situation. His phone doesn't even ring before he answers, or his voicemail at least.
Hey, it's Zach. Well, a voicemail anyway. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, just leave a message, yeah? And no, Ash, you're not allowed to lockpick your way into my apartment again. Just do what any other decent human being does and call if I'm not around. Thanks.
Did he turn it off? Why? I don't want to assume the worst yet. Maybe he's forgotten to charge it? The guy can be a bit of a Boy Scout, even more than I am a cop. He's the type who has an extra battery or power bank in his bag if he needs it. And he always does. He won't say anything or brag about it, but he's got quite a roster of VIP freelance clients. He won't just leave his phone dead. In case he's on the field, particularly when people will likely be looking for him. He always leaves his connection open whenever clients or friends need him. Zach is reliable like that.
Why isn't anyone answering?
I don't know. His mobile is in out-of-range areas sounds more plausible, although the thought of it doesn't completely shake off the unease. Unlike Rebecca and I, he took the time to listen to what Isabella said. And even if he didn't believe it, he was definitely the first to offer help or to try to do something. If he ends up trouble doing whatever it is. So help me, I'm going to... Well, I can't be rash, I'm aware of that. Being running the same reminder in my head since last night. But something happens. But if something happens, I'm certain my reaction won't be pretty.
Yo, Zach, call me back, alright? I wanted to check in and, yeah, just please call me back.
That one sounded more emotional than Rebecca's. It's usually a joke between us when I say he's the Watson to my Sherlock. I don't see him as some assistant to put aside until he's needed, like some people like to believe, though. He's not some pity friend I keep around to make myself look good.
If anything, he's the one who stayed by me out of pity.
Zach's the one who puts up with me most of the time, even when he doesn't need to. It's not a case of cool cop who helped out a minority. In truth, I was hard-headed, hot-tempered, and a reckless rookie up until I met him. It wasn't anything sudden, and some part of me is still that rookie. But I've grown, thanks to him. He tempers that part of me. Considering how our first impressions went, I'm lucky he stuck around. Beck and I may have spent a lot of years together as children, but Zach, he's probably the closest thing I'll call to a best friend. Though it's more than that. A camaraderie, no words can express. He has my back and I'll always have his. He's a brother I've never had the luck of ever having. Only child and all.
And I have every reason to worry about my brother.
You're cute. Becca's neighbor did say she went to meet someone, no specific names. If I'm wrong and she's not with Professor Clark, you're right. Then maybe it's with Zach? You're wrong. They've never been close, but it's not the kind of awkward friendship where meeting together remains out of the question. Regardless, I continued dialing for his phone another 3 times, like I've done with Rebecca's. In the end, after the 3rd attempt, with no answering, I stopped and moved to cut the call with a ragged exhale.
Waiting game it is then.
I've been trained for those. Hell, I'm used to them. Just not when it comes to people I'm close to. Much as I like to remind myself to maintain a level head, it's a whole different matter when it's someone you know. Personal feelings will likely get involved at some point. It's starting now, actually, with the anxious string coiling and uncoiling causing a racket inside my stomach. And that's exactly when the line finally connects. Before he even speaks, my question has already slipped out, including every pent-up worry and tension in my body. So this is the point where Zach went to the Wrights' mansion to try and warn them, because he thought Ash and Isabella went over there. But they went to BRC, because Ashton didn't tell him where they were going. And all of this could have been avoided if people would just share information.
Where are you?
The line's choppy, though I can still make out the words he's saying. Nothing to worry about then. He's just someplace in network coverage city. Can't imagine where at this time of the morning, though. The Wrights, the oh my god mansion. Did he go out for a jog?
What was that, Ash? Could you repeat that? Signal shitty here.
I asked, where are you? Hell, Zach, I've been calling your number for a good 20 minutes now. What kind of shithole did you get into?
I meant to sound as friendly as possible to keep things light at least, instead only frustration shows in my tone.
Good morning to you, too. I should be asking you that question. I've been looking all over the mansion for you. I thought you'd be...
What mansion?
Do I really need to answer that?
Why are you even...
Please don't tell me that's his plan. A morning visit to the mansion where Luke Wright is. Of all the peg-headed things to do right now, it's the best thing he can come up with. Breaking and entering. I've got plenty... No, we prevented him from breaking and entering because he would have died. I've got a plenty of reasons to rail him right now. Oh. Although, no matter how much I want to give him a piece of my mind, unfortunately it's not the time.
No, wait. Just get your ass to Isabella's place and hurry.
He pauses for a moment, a second of indecision while he seems to contemplate his options.
How urgent is this?
Urgent. The truth, in question, the hesitance and the indecision in his voice, he caught me completely off guard. And understanding dawns on me. His decision to go there isn't born out of a stupid impulse. He must have found something. However, no matter how urgent it is, he still shouldn't have gone there, alone at that. Despite myself in the split second of comprehension, I allow it to show. A weakness. A simple request brimming with every unease and disquiet caused turmoil within since last night. It bears a selfish hope that he'll understand, even though the unstable signal that whatever's keeping him there will be willing to set aside for now.
Pressing enough for you to stop asking questions and get yourself here. Please, Zach.
Silence fills the other end of the line again. For a long moment, I assume he won't heed it, and I'll have to drive there myself, just to drag him away from whatever danger he's skirting. Thankfully, he agrees.
I'll be there in a few. An hour or two tops.
Thanks. I'll see you.
Relief washes over me as soon as the call ends. Alright! We are caught up, technically, with all the timelines, except for Luke's. I assume Luke's chapter is probably going to be really fucking long. Because it'll probably start all the way at the beginning, so we can see his perspective on everything, is my guess. It may not. And then we'll have to go through all the days again. And then we'll probably finish it out with Luke. I don't know if there'll be another chapter after Luke. But technically, I think all the timelines are exactly where they each ended. I think. I could be wrong. But I'm going to end it here. It's been about an hour. That freaking QTE took forever. I was so angry. But thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I post. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!